Hey there, Saints. Pastor Dave here with another weekly devotional for you. I'm going to be reading an excerpt from The Weight of Glory, and the topic here is unselfishness. C.S. Lewis writes, "If you asked 20 good men today what they thought the highest of the virtues was, 19 of them would reply unselfishness. But if you'd asked almost any of the great Christians of old, he would have replied love. See what has happened? A negative term has been substituted for a positive, and this is of more than philological importance. The negative idea of unselfishness carries with it the suggestion not primarily of securing good things for others, but of going without them ourselves, as if our abstinence and not their happiness was the important point. I do not think this is the Christian virtue of love. The New Testament has lots to say about self-denial, but not about self-denial as an end in itself. We're told to deny ourselves and to take up our crosses in order that we may follow Christ. And nearly every description of what we shall ultimately find if we do so contains an appeal to desire. If there lurks in most modern minds the notion that to desire our own good and to earnestly hope for the enjoyment of it is a bad thing, I submit that this notion has crept in from Kant and the Stoics and is no part of the Christian faith." It's a really interesting thought here to me. When's the last time you did something unselfish? When's the last time you made a choice to go without something, to deny yourself something? Said, I'm not going to have that last piece of pie that's in the refrigerator, or I'm not going to seek that promotion at work. And what was your reason for doing that? Lewis says that there's maybe a disconnect sometimes between our reason for being unselfish and what it would actually require of us to be charitable or loving in the Christian sense. We might choose not to eat that piece of pie, to deny ourselves something that we want, but that isn't necessarily going to do anything good for anyone else, is it? That's not necessarily going to create enjoyment or peace or justice or whatever it is that might be good for the other person, which is what real love or charity would mean. There's a kind of a space between self-denial, unselfishness, and actually serving others. And sometimes that's kind of tricky. It's hard to notice. But we don't want to be doing things simply because we think that we're not supposed to enjoy ourselves. If we're going to deny something of ourselves, if we're going to take something away from ourselves, it should be for the reason that we want someone else to have it, right? We want someone else to enjoy it. We want to share that pie with our wife or our daughter. We want that promotion at work that we've decided not to seek to go to Bob or to Susie, who we know has worked really hard and actually deserves it. It's not about us not having things simply so that we don't have them. It's about us choosing not to take things for ourselves in order that others might enjoy them. This ties into the last thing that Lewis mentioned about how it's a very strange impulse in some forms of Christianity to want to seek suffering, to not want to be happy, not want to enjoy ourselves, to think that we're doing something wrong if we are enjoying life. Now, there are certainly ways that we can enjoy the wrong things in life, but God's purposes for us are not to be sad, not to be dour, not to suffer. God's purposes for us are to enjoy Him, to enjoy the gifts that He has given us. And the only reason that we would lay aside any of those gifts is because we recognize that when we do so, someone else can enjoy them, and perhaps even enjoy them more fully. and we truly want that. That's love. That's charity. That's more than simple unselfishness. Think about it this week, saints. See if you can try to make a move in your life from practicing unselfishness to actually practicing charity. I'll be praying for you. Hope you'll be praying for me. And take care. I'll see you again soon.